Already. So we'll go straight to class. So let's look at differences. We stopped at leadership styles. Let's do a little revision. What are the leadership styles? We have autocratic. Am I correct? We have autocratic. What's the next one? Visionary, authoritative. What's the next one? No, sorry. Let's go. Let's start now. And if you get it, 2 certificates for you. All right, let's go. What's the first leadership style? Autocratic. All right. And then we went on to look at the authoritative. Somebody said visionary, you're still another. Then we have the pace setting. We have the democratic style, and I've explained all that to you. We have the coaching style, all right, and then the affiliative style. And I also remember saying that they don't all work in isolation. You remember, you cannot just be democratic. You cannot just be autocratic. You will lose your people. Sometimes you have to marry the two. Then you also have to coach. Because in management, they say if you don't train them, don't blame them. You have no moral right to blame somebody for something you've not trained him on. All right, so let's now go to differences between a good leader and a bad leader. So cut that now. All right, so you start now. All right, so differences between a good leader and a bad leader. You mark yourself. First of all, a good leader is always learning. Like you are here. Some of you are captains of industry. Some of you are leaders in all right. But you heard that there's a training, a leadership training. You said, well, I'll submit my leader is always learning. It goes for information. Are you aware that the difference between a success and a failure is information? So number two, that a bad leader knows it all. Nobody can talk to him. Nobody tells him anything. He knows. It's the kind of person that will tell you, don't confuse me with the facts. My mind is made up. Can you imagine? So a bad leader knows it all. He does not submit himself to learning. Another difference is that a good leader seeks solutions, but the bad leader is always giving answers. As far as he's concerned, he knows all the solutions, and that's not possible. A good leader listens more than he talks, while a bad leader talks more than he listens. I told you something in the first session. When you talk, who remembers? You repeat what you already know. But when you listen, you learn. And I also told you that whenever you are listening, listen to understand. Don't listen to respond. All right. Next, a good leader coaches, but a bad leader directs. A good leader encourages, a bad leader criticizes. I beg all of us, don't criticize. If you must criticize, criticize constructively. Don't be talking people down. Don't be talking your subordinates down. A good leader encourages, we said that, sorry. A good leader identifies natural gifts. I talked about that in the first session when I was talking about everybody has something inside. As a leader, you must identify people's capabilities. You must find a way to know people's strength. When we get to delegation later, you'll see it. Make sure you put round pegs in round holes. All right? So you must identify natural gifts. And a good leader is only concerned, a bad one is concerned about identifying weaknesses. Faults. It's a fault finder. A good leader, it says we, us, are. The bad leader is always me, myself, I. It's all about him. It's my company. It's my unit. It's my group. I did this. I did that. You never hear we in his mouth. Don't be that kind of leader. A good leader takes accountability, but a bad leader he places blame on people. He will never take responsibility. He will never take responsibility. He's always looking for who to blame. And that's not nice. A good leader reveals vulnerability. If he has weaknesses, he owns up. But the bad leader protects his ego. He protects his ego. And then lastly, a good leader inspires performance. But the bad leader demands results. How you get the result doesn't concern him. It doesn't concern him. Just come back with the results. So, is there anybody who thinks there's any change you need to make? If there is, make the change. That's why you came. I'd like to say this to you. The whole essence of training is not in sitting down for hours. It's not in the certificate. It is in what you will do with the knowledge that you have received. Maybe you are lacking in one of these. Maybe you don't listen to your subordinates. Maybe you are somebody who intimidates people. That's just the way you are. You can work on it as a result of this training. Nobody must go back and remain the same. Are we together? So these are differences. All right? Cut now. Okay? I can skip this. So let's go to More differences now. Ready? Now, more differences. Number one, a good leader pulls people, he carries people along. We're talking about differences between a good leader and a bad leader. But a bad leader pushes people. When you pull, you are in front. When you push, you are at the back. Go, I'm coming. That's not leadership. A good leader says, let us go. A bad leader says, go. Look at this picture here. A bad leader is served, but a good leader serves. Don't be a leader that they are serving. Be there for service. Unfortunately, most of the leaders we have in Africa, once they get in, they begin to rule, they don't lead. Don't be that kind of person. Look at it. It's a typical example of a bad leader. They are serving him while a good leader serves. Look at them. A good leader inspires and motivates his followers. But a bad leader directs, bullies, intimidates his followers. Don't be somebody who bullies people. Don't be somebody who intimidates people, who threatens people. A good leader is concerned about the job to be done and the people doing the job. But a bad leader is only concerned about the job. When I was driving in, I almost got into the hotel. I got a message from the vice, and he said, please, the people have not rested. We've had serious sessions at home. Can you please give us an extra 30 minutes or 1 hour so that they can rest? Not so that he can rest. You must be considerate. You cannot just be talking about the job. What are the people doing the job? Don't be a tax center leader. Don't be a slave driver. Don't be somebody who does not care about the welfare of the people in the group. A bad leader is only interested in the job. A good leader shows how to do it. But a bad leader does what? He only tells you what to do. He won't show you how. When I was teaching you leadership styles, which leader will this be? This is autocratic. This is autocratic. But this one is the coaching style. It shows you how. It shows you how. A bad leader leads by, a good leader leads by example. A bad leader leads by force. A good leader carries subordinates along. Look at that. You carry them along. We rise by lifting others. You can snap this. I saw it somewhere here. Snap this, please. We rise by lifting others. Let that be your story. There's enough space at the top for everybody. I told you in the morning session, don't stagnate anybody's growth, even in your offices. You know I said that? Because you cannot hold a man down without staying down with him. Don't play politics. Of course, politics is necessary. Don't get me wrong. But never be responsible for holding anybody down. You must recognize the grace of God upon different people. Did you hear what I said? Even in your group, some people have some graces, some abilities. Harness that. So we rise by lifting others. Say that with me. We rise by lifting others. Yes, my true success, as far as I'm concerned, is how many people I'm able to raise, not how many people I'm able to bully. Oh, sorry. You're still doing that? Can I go? All right. A bad leader leaves subordinates behind. Look at him. He's at the top. He doesn't care. He will not train them, will not encourage them, will not support them. Don't be this kind of leader. Just be this kind of leader. A good leader absorbs pressure. But a bad leader transfers pressure. You must absorb pressure as a leader. You must absorb pressure. There's something called the demand of leadership. A good leader is democratic. A bad leader is autocratic. A good leader has compassion. A bad leader has only sympathy. What's the difference? Sympathy is just verbal. Hey, yeah, sorry. Compassion is sympathy plus action. You cannot just tell me sorry. You must be there for me. A good leader thinks before acting. A bad leader acts before thinking. Like this guy. Look at this guy is not thinking. This guy is not thinking at all. If he's thinking, he won't try what he wants to do. Because the reason he's standing is, and some of us must recognize the fact that there are people in your offices, people in your group, people in your zones, that it is because of their grace, because of their expertise, that you are even making the progress that you are. And once you kick them out, you fall. You fall. So don't be this kind of person who doesn't think before he acts. And not just before you act, but before you talk. Look at this. I like this statement. Please note this down. You are always responsible for how you act, no matter how you feel. Your action, your reaction is your responsibility. You have two options, to respond or to let it go. If you come now, you slap me, I have two options. I could hit you back, I could decide, I'm not going to respond. Because my response is my responsibility. There are people in prison today because they responded the wrong way. I met somebody, this is not this is a true story. Some years ago, I was in charge of a committee. It was actually in my church. Every October, we do something for society. So this time, we said we wanted to put computers in one of the major prisons in this country. And they now call them correctional centers. And I was in charge. We were supposed to equip, buy computers, buy the computer tables, and even send people to be teaching the inmates. And then they will graduate them. And I was the one in charge. When I visited for the first time to see the controller of prisons, and I introduced myself, and we were talking, and I saw somebody, young, clean, handsome guy, talking very, very sensibly. And I asked the man, is this guy an inmate? He said, yeah, it's an inmate. So I called him. What are you doing in prison? He said he killed somebody. I said, God, you? As I'm looking at you, he said, what's the mistake? I said, what happened? I said, how long have you been here? He said, 7 years already. How long are you going to be here? He said, for life. Oh, God. I said, so what happened? He said, we're just playing. I said, what did you kill? He said, I'm robbery. He says, no, it was my friend, sir. This is a true story. So we're playing draft. Then he just said something that upset me. Oh, sir, I didn't hit him. Oh. God is my witness. So I just did like this. He just fell down and died. And now I'm in prison. He said, I just wanted to. I didn't hit him. I said, okay, so what did he say? You've been here for 7 years. What did he say that made you want to hit him? He said, I cannot even remember. I said, can you see your life? You cannot remember. And now you're in prison for the rest of your life for something you cannot even remember. I said, did you have to go like, did you have to do this? He said he has learned his lesson. Your responsibility, your response is your responsibility. Your response is your responsibility. Not everybody who is alive is alive. Some people are already dead. They are looking for who will just do it in the physical. May that not be you, may that not be me. So you need to be very careful. There are some things you have to let go. I know people that have killed their spouses. The woman saw a message in the husband's phone, and this, you got all the evidence, and then you killed the father of your children. And the person looking after you. What have you gained? Now they are in regrets. You know some of them, we submitted on papers. So I'll say it again. Your response is your responsibility. You are responsible for how you act, no matter how you feel. We go on now. A good leader encourages his subordinates to better themselves. That's important. When we had a short break, first of all, the president told me some things earlier, about this program, how, the first thing he told me when he saw me, he said, you're coming again. You are coming again. I've seen the content. You are coming again. Then I stepped out for a short break, and then the vice was telling me something. He said, we made up our mind. No matter what, training must be part of what we are doing. He said, we know that many people would prefer just prayers. He said, but training is also important. Training is important. That's what he said to me. Because you see, the difference between a success and a failure is information. I told you earlier that God had to use, in spite of all Saul's sins, God had to use him. Who else would he use? So, training is important. Submit yourself to training. There's something called spiritual wisdom. There's something called street wisdom. Experiential knowledge. No wonder Jesus said we should be wise. He said the people of this world are wiser than the people of the kingdom. He knew what he was saying. When an unbeliever, God does something for an unbeliever. He delivered from an accident. He gets a big job in a company. Nobody tells him to go and do Thanksgiving. He will go and do it. He will spend. He will make big noise. Are you getting it? He will sacrifice. When a believer like you and I, God does something big, we just say, what shall I render? You're even asking, what shall you render? Are you getting it? Those guys know, they know how to thank God. They know how to thank God. So we need to get it right. A committed Christian, deputy MD of a company is in church. There are two deputy MDs of that company. The other one is not serving God, he's serving maybe the devil or whatever. The one who is serving, and the MD is retiring next month. The one who is serving God has gone to meet his pastor. Pastor, pray for me. No CEO. Nothing on the altar. Even when pastor tells him, connect to the altar, no. The other one goes to meet his herbalist. That one says, you need to do a dangerous thing. That one does it. And then tomorrow that guy gets the appointment. The one who is in church says God is not fair. Brothers and sisters, sacrifice makes the difference. Like you are doing now. Sacrifice, are you aware that there was a time that God had to turn against his people because of a bigger sacrifice? The king of that guy that gave his son one. The Bible says that the battle was sore. It was against the Moabites. This guy looked up, looked down. What can I do? He gave his son. The Bible says his son who should have reigned in his stead. That is the heir apparent. No king jokes with his successor. Are you getting it? And he offered, the Bible says there was great indignation against Israel. God was upset. God had to turn things around against Israel because there was no sacrifice on Israel. Are you getting what I'm saying? So you want to get the price, you must pay the price. Whether in the negative or in the positive, sacrifice is not negotiable. So you must better yourself. This is what we are doing now. I reminded the president when we started, just now before I said that thing. I said, I'm not joking, sir. I want the names of everybody present. They must get certificates. You must get it. And it will be on record that you sat down. What we are doing now, sometimes people go to Lagos Business School and go for it. Are we together? All right? So please, I want to appeal to you. You can cut this now. This is off record. Just cooperate with the leadership. They know what they are doing. The small interaction I've had with them, they know what they are doing. It is true. Ordinarily, we should just gather and pray, and do all that. But this one that they've added, let us keep at it. Let nothing stop training. Let nothing stop capacity building. Let nothing stop capacity building. No matter what it will cost. I was told that in August or something, that one there's a prayer conference. We'll do that one in the village. Fine. That one there's no seminar. There's no training. But at least once a year, we must build capacity. Not just for the work, for ourselves. Some of the things we are saying now, we will use it in our homes. Use it in our jobs. Somebody, I think is that our CAC, Corporate Affairs Commission, our guy, he told me something. He said, he said, I will call you, we'll talk. I don't know what, but I know it is not association matter. After the money, just said, we'll talk about something. Somebody else said the same thing. Are you getting me? Are we together? Are you aware that with the slides in your hand and with what you blend, you can even enter some small consultants? Are you getting what I'm saying? All right? So don't look down on knowledge. Even our mommies, our elderly people from the village, you are better off now just because you came. Apart from the knowledge, the interaction, the networking. When I round up now, I'll give up my phone number. Call me anytime. There are some things you might not want us to talk about here. We'll talk about it on phone. Are we together? So it is God that orchestrated this. It is God. So please, they are trying to improve those of us. Let us cooperate with them. Let us cooperate with them. All right? A good leader encourages subordinates to better themselves. But a bad leader deliberately sits on subordinates. Okay, are you back now? The bad leader deliberately sits on subordinates' potentials and stagnates their progress. Stagnates their progress. Nobody can take what God has given to you. That's what Saul did not understand. All the time when you're using to fight David, he should have used that one to beg God. Are you getting it? He still lost the throne. He still lost the throne to David. So stop fighting people. Just concentrate on what you are doing and make sure you are right with your maker. Is it a deal? Is it a deal? Please. A good leader earns respect, but a bad leader demands respect. It demands respect. A good leader is forgiving, but a bad leader is unforgiving, even to the point of self-destruction. Look at this. Who offended who? The bird offended the dog. Who is going to die? Who is going to die now? Are you showing it? Who is going to die? Why? Unforgiveness. There are some people you should not. He has forgotten that he does not have the ability to fly. You better leave some people alone. Leave some people alone. Fighting them is to your own destruction. Recognize grace and leave people like that alone. Even in your office, in your group, just leave them. Yeah, exactly. You are correct. I hear what you are saying. Because some people, it is God that is fighting their battles. I hope you understand. Yes, sir. All right? So, don't be unforgiving to the point of self-destruction. Know when to pull back. Am I talking to somebody? Know when to pull back. Look at this statement. Conflict is inevitable, but combat is optional. There is no way we will not have conflicts. We will not disagree. Is it not here in this association you met one another? But combat is optional. I told you earlier, you are responsible for how you respond, irrespective of how you feel. So please, can I go on because of time? All right. All this is inside your slides, all right? A good leader insists on due process, lay down procedures. It does not encourage jumping of ranks. Don't let anybody bypass due process. Do you have a constitution? Let us follow it. We know. Even maybe it's the one that gave us, as soon as I saw him coming in, but that's it, sir. I even felt bad. Because we should not have started this session without the chairman, without the president. But maybe he authorized it. He said we should go ahead. I want to believe that. All right. Even if you're not, you will say he did. I trust you. He did. You did, sir. All right. So we must insist on, we must give honor to whom honor is due. Are we together? We must follow due process. Some people don't want to follow due process. Some people want to jump ranks. Your zonal head is not aware of something. Already, the chairman, the president is aware. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. Am I correct? You don't just carry your phone and the fact that he has listened to you does not make it right. Let us do things the right way. Let us ensure that we are following a due process. We recognize just above us, not in terms of age, in terms of the hierarchy of authority. Are we together? All right? The fact that somebody is not talking does not mean he has nothing to say. Sometimes they just overlook it. Please don't surprise your immediate, your zonal head or your unit, whatever. Let us follow due process. I hope I'm talking to some of us here. All right? But the bad leader circumvents due process and procedures. A good leader does not encourage jumping of ranks. You know, after the morning session, is it president or chairman? What's the correct one? The president and the vice called me and then they said, we need to introduce you to. They introduced me to the CRC, introduced me to the former chairman. That is the way things should be done. Some people will just push them aside. No, you must give honor to whom honor is due. So I really commend you. That is what it should be. Because nobody is dragging with you. But you must honor those that deserve honor. It's not in Nigeria we don't honor. We only celebrate people when they are dead. We only have dead heroes.
I want to make comments.
Please do, sir.
Okay. Praise God. I just say this under God. Apart from God, okay, since I took over, the person that has supported me most was the person I handed over to.
Can you imagine? Please put your hands together. Please, can you imagine? He's not saying it because of what I said. And I'm not sure you just manufactured that statement. But do we really have that in Africa again? The person who has handed over will not, those of us from River, is where with all of you, River State, will not let the person who is there rest. I'm not a politician, no. You know, so please, where is our immediate past president? I commend you, sir. Thank you. Look at what he said. Look at what he said. And it takes humility for him to also say what he has said. So thank you. Well done. Thank you so much, sir. Whatever you can do to, because you cannot argue with experience. So I'm happy with what is going on here. So you see it now, all right? A good leader does not encourage jumping of ranks, all right? A bad leader encourages that we said that. A good leader recognizes and submits to constituted authority. There's a difference between authority and constituted authority. What's the difference? Authority is one of delegated authority. That's what God constituted. The constitution, I've seen it there. Are we obeying it, or you are doing your own thing? Don't do your own thing. God is a God of order. It's a God of order. Look at what happened to those two guys. What's their name now? Those guys that talked against against Moses. Yes. What they were saying made sense. So what they were saying was correct. But God does not work like that. You cannot question the person I have put there. And you know how they paid dearly for it. So I want us to please look at, there's another place where, I can't remember where it was. It was a person who was talking, I think it was the same Moses that had to pray for them. Or am I not correct? Huh? And so on. So God has a way of doing, there's something called due process. So please, submit to authority. A good leader is honest and has no integrity deficit. But a bad leader is dishonest and has integrity deficit. A good leader does not engage in conflict of interest. What is conflict of interest? When you do things that go against the interest of the fellowship, of the organization. I'm trying to make this training even beyond the fellowship. You do things for personal gain. They said you are the one to come and book for the hotel. You have inflated it. No problem. It's okay. You got the money. But God does not bless such. Let God bless your hustle. Whatever it is you are doing, let God breathe upon it. Because little becomes much when God is in it. I'll say that again. Little becomes much when God is in it. Please. Don't all those people that are, where are they today? What have we that we will take? So don't engage in conflict of interest. A bad leader engages in conflict of interest. A good leader does not double talk. There are people that double talk. They say A to this person, they say B, knocking heads. A leader, you are not a candidate for leadership. A leader double talks. A good leader does not misrepresent his colleagues to subordinates. There are people that the spelling is wrong. They misrepresent. They even misrepresent the higher. They said, how did you communicate? Those are zonal heads. How did you communicate this program to the people under you? They said, who are the they? They said we should come to Asaba. Can you imagine Asaba? Why is it not that you and your people junior are questioning authority? God will come for you. It doesn't work that way. So Abio means exactly, in case you are not aware. Let me now tell you. So you're not saying, I just said Abio. Abio means exactly. Thank you. Means na so. Because somebody under you said, why Asaba? Why would you not do it in the east? He said, Abio. You have agreed. You have questioned higher authority. Abi, I'm suspecting that woman. the way she's laughing. So let us be together. Even the things you do not understand, you are not happy about, you complain upwards, don't complain downwards. Is it a deal? Is it a deal? We must be seen. We must be seen. When you go back, they're going to ask you, how the place even be? They take care of you now. Say, man, they suffer also. They suffer also. There is a whole meal. There is here sachet of. Do you need to give that information? Do you need to give that information? Some people are going to send message already reporting you. Say, now suffer with the here. Oh. No. But the good ones they've done, you will not say that they brought one black man who can talk better talk. You will not say that one. So one man just talk. Anyway, we thank God for his life. But we suffer. No. Let's celebrate the good things. There will always be inconvenience. Are we on course? I know I'm hitting some people. It's so that we can be better people. A bad leader misrepresents his colleagues to subordinates. A good leader delegates, a bad leader abdicates. All right? A good leader is flexible, but a bad leader is rigid. He will never change his mind because of pride, not because of principle. Even when he has superior argument. I was not the first choice. By the time I even told them he told me, he said, it will not be. He said, but let me talk to the president. And later got back to me and said, okay, it's okay. He has been able to. Maybe there was somebody else. Why is it so difficult for you to change your mind when somebody gives you an alternative? Some of us don't change. We don't listen, even to our children, even to our spouses. And then you mess things up. I listen to even my children. Because nowadays, they even have more information than you and I. Because of things like the internet, which you and I don't have time for. So by the time this boy is telling you, Daddy, this is what don't shut him up. Because it might cost you more. Are we together? A good leader is patient, a bad leader is impatient, a good leader originates, but a bad leader imitates. Look at this. Life is the most difficult exam. Many people fail because they try to copy others, not realizing that everyone has different question paper. All of us, we have different question paper. I told you at the beginning, mind your business. Just focus on your own. Whatever other people are doing, you can be challenged, you can be encouraged, but that should not affect your own, what you are doing. Never have a bad day because somebody else is having a good day. Because the fact that somebody else is succeeding does not mean you are failing. Success is relative. Success is relative. I'll say it again. The fact that somebody else is succeeding does not mean that you are failing. You had another association, they had leaders conference like this, they had 2,000, thank God for their life. Have you done what you wanted to do? Have you achieved your own? Yes, you are challenged by them, but that will not. Some people go to church. They were happy. As soon as they had testimony from somebody else, they became sad. God, what of my own? God, what of my own? It's not supposed to be like that. Then you get angry with the testifier. No. Rejoice with him, rejoice with her, because you will give your own testimony soon in Jesus' name. All right, let's move faster now. A good leader shares the glory among his team, but a bad leader personalizes glory and victories. Me, myself, I. A good leader is a team player, a bad leader is a lone ranger. A good leader is concerned about equity, but a bad leader is concerned about equality. Let me explain that. Look at equality. It doesn't matter our abilities, it's the same size. You see, they are standing on the same size. Look, can you see equality? This is bad. But he has forgotten that this is not equity. Look at equity. This guy is not as tall as this. So this guy has given. Are you seeing the way it's working? But equality is, all of us, we must share it equally. It doesn't work that way. I'm hitting some people today. Yes, please lock the door. Nobody will go out today. Okay. A leader is self-driven, but the bad leader is people-driven. The people push him. That's what made Moses lose his ministry. The people, and look at what happened to him. A good leader takes decisions based on facts. A bad leader takes decisions based on sentiment. A good leader is available and approachable, but a bad leader is available but not approachable. Do you know you can be available but not approachable? You can be in your office and nobody come because of the way you behave. As soon as somebody enters your office, what happened? Hope no problem. You say, no, sorry, I was just passing. As it's your office corridor. It's your office corridor. You say, okay, pass. If you are like that, nobody, even at home, nobody comes close. The children, nobody. Then change your ways. It's not enough to be available. You also have to be approachable. Jesus was approachable. He was approachable. Be approachable. A good leader takes responsibility for his actions. A bad leader will never take responsibility. He transfers responsibility for his mistakes. A good leader admits and corrects his faults, but a bad leader never corrects, even when he's doing the wrong thing. Look at this statement. A man who committed a mistake and does not correct it is committing another mistake. When you do not correct the mistake you are making, you are committing another mistake. You learn nothing from your life if you think that you are always right all the time. You are not. It's not possible. The leader listens to his subordinates' viewpoints and opinions, but the leader does not listen. And look at this statement. Leaders who do not listen will be surrounded by people who have nothing to say. May that not be your story. Where nobody has anything to say. Why? Because you are not listening to what they have been saying before. All right? So, and so on and so forth. Let's go to mindsets. All right? So, cut now because of memory. All right? So, pick it now. All right? So, let's look at leadership mindsets. There are two mindsets that are available to you. The closed mindset and the open mindset. Characteristics of the closed mindset. Number one is always talking. It does more talking. An open mindset person does more listening. Closed mindset, argumentative. The other one is empathetic, he's listening, he's there for you. This one is always taking, he's a magnet. The other one is always giving. Are you a taker or you are a giver? The closed mindset is arrogant. The open mindset is humble. The closed mindset is defensive, always on the defensive. The open mindset is collaborative. The closed mindset blames others. This one rather educates. The closed mindset is rigid. The open mindset is adaptive. I want you to please work on your mindset. Don't be somebody who is always arguing, who is always insisting on his rights, who is always taking, not giving, who is arrogant. I was surprised when I was told, I have a lot of information, just this small time I came. I was even told that all what we are doing, all what is not everybody, that some people have sacrificed for this. I was touched. Some people from their sweat, because nobody has extra. Not anymore. At least not in today's Nigeria. So for those of you who have put money together, your sweat, some have paid for the hotel, some have paid for the consultant's fee, some have paid for the feeding and all that. Wow. I commend you. I commend you. If you are not part of it this year, make up your mind that by God's grace, by next year, I'll be among the ones contributing, even if it is no matter how small. That is the kind of mindset that we should have. That's the kind of mindset. And for those of you who gave, you will reap in the mighty name of Jesus. Because no giver goes down. No giver goes down. He said that those who have been giving will notice that they've been going up. That is the way it works. That is the way it works. Even in the natural, that's the way it works. Let us live God's kingdom of God alone, even in the natural. Some of us, when we were growing up, we had some uncles that were always giving. Your daddy will say, I don't have. Go and meet Uncle Fred. All of us will go to Uncle Fred. Uncle Fred will give us money. You notice Uncle Fred never went down. Have you noticed? All those people that were always meeting, God was always taking them up. It's a natural law. There are laws that are called universal laws. There are some that are only for Christians. The law of sowing and reaping is not for Christians only. It's a universal law. Whatsoever a man sows, he will reap. If a Christian, born again, talking, spirit-filled, stands here, a murderer, a rapist, the worst person in the world stands here, if both of them get bean seed or corn seed and plant in the same soil, which one will grow first, faster? The Christians one? They will both grow. Because it is a universal law. It has nothing to do with whether he's a Christian or not. Whatever a man sows, he must reap. The law of positive talk, the Bible says, where your mouth goes, your life goes. Numbers 18 something. God told the children of Israel, as surely as I have heard you say in my ears, so will I do unto you. Where your mouth goes, your life goes. Continue talking down yourself. I don't even understand. I don't have money. Things are tough. These my children. They are very stubborn. Continue. You are the architect of your life. What you say is what you will get. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. Change your confession from today, leaders. Stop saying things are not working. Don't say the economy is tough. I don't even understand this president. In the midst of the toughness, people are building houses. People are buying cars. Why can't I want to be like that? Don't say what people are saying. The Bible says, when men are saying there's a casting down, you will be saying there's a lifting up. That should be your story. Because God never promised us anything according to the economy, according to the budget. What he promised was based on his riches in glory in Christ Jesus. So stop saying what people are saying. Dollar, dollar. Even people that have not seen dollar are complaining about dollar. That should not be your story. No matter the economy, God is bigger than anything. Can you say amen? Right. Are you aware that one phone call can change your entire life? Where is that? Okay, he has stepped out. The guy that was doing, when I came in early, I got your message. I was already in the hotel. So I just sat down there and I called him, that guy doing the recording. I said, I have a social media ministry I do. So I said, just come and let's do some recordings. And I told him something. I said, I've been on this thing for a long time. Every week I must post that. I said, but one day a phone call will come. Every day, every time my phone rings, I always tell myself, this might be the call. Because I know that one phone call can change everything. Have that mindset. Stop expecting that your miracle will come from your sweat. Then what makes you a Christian? Thank you, sir. It's an error. What makes you? The Bible says, Jesus said, after this to the Gentiles seek. We are not Gentiles. If we are doing all what they are doing to get the same results, then where lies our faith? Where lies the difference? Brothers and sisters, I believe in miracles. I believe in miracles because the foundation of Christianity is the miraculous. Some of us last year, you made a very big mistake. You were laughing at those people chosen. Some of us were laughing at them. Fellow Christians, we are laughing. We are joining unbelievers. Somebody said it was in an accident, an angel appeared, a lion came, the lion took him, then we started laughing. Many of us were laughing. Now, nobody's people. And I was just wondering, why is it so difficult to believe that a miracle can occur? That God can intervene? I submit to you, one phone call can change everything. And you will get that call in Jesus' name. It will not even be for when you're expecting. You'll be surprised. They will just call you. So whatever, did I not tell you when I was doing the recording? I said I will not stop. I was talking about the 3 C's. I said consistency. You know here it is. I said commitment. And then what was the third one I said? Because some of these things, they just come and I say it. Remain committed. Don't throw in the towel. If you are serving God, keep serving God. If you are giving, keep giving. There are lots of messages now. So you can react. Messages on social media. Don't do this. Don't tithe. Don't give. Whatever you have done, sir, you are doing that has brought you to where you are. Please continue. Keep doing it. It doesn't matter what anybody says. But I believe in miracles. But I also know that miracles don't just happen. There are things you also do that stir up. Yes, your commitment to what you are doing, your positive mindset, your positive confession. You cannot be confessing A and be expecting B. What are you saying? I told my wife one day, don't speak unbelief in this house. Don't tell the children there's no food. Don't tell them there's no milk. And what will I say? Tell them the milk is temporarily unavailable. Temporarily unavailable. Money is coming. Don't say daddy doesn't have money. Daddy has your school bill. I said, tell them daddy will pay. It has nothing to do with what's in your pocket. It has everything to do with your mindset. When you go back, apart from whatever you're going back with, go back with the right mindset. Train yourself to speak positively. Even if you are sleeping and you are sleep talking, let it be positive talk. Don't worry about the economy. The other day I went to Lekki, see houses coming up. See people buying cars. All of us will get our own in Jesus' name. We will eat the good of the land. It doesn't matter what is happening, we will eat the same, and we will eat the good of the land. Because there is good in the land. There is good in the land. There is good in the land. So make up your mind. Be very, very positive. I'm a very positive person because I believe in miracles. I work hard, but I'm not trusting on my. I'm deserved that I'm not a lazy person. But I also know that for me to make it in life, hard work plus network plus God's work. What's God's work? Divine intervention. Divine assistance. Am I communicating? All right. So please have the right mindset. Okay, let's go now. 10 principles for effective and dynamic leadership. Are you ready? Number 1, leadership is behavior, not position. It's not position. The best way to influence your team members is by setting good examples, as our leaders here have done. Leading means making impact. Don't be an impactless leader. Leadership involves having a vision and keeping it in focus. Make sure you maintain the vision. Action speaks louder than words. Leadership is not about people. This is the major difference between leadership and management. Management deals with systems, structures, and processes. Leadership deals with people. So somebody can be a good leader but a bad manager. And somebody can be a good manager but a bad leader. Find a way to combine. And as a leader, it's okay to admit your mistakes. Unity is strength. Unity is strength. And lastly, there's always room for improvement. That's why we are being trained here. Is that all right? All right. The 10 demands of leadership. Number 1 is the demand for vision. The leader must have vision. The demand for discipline. The leader must have discipline. He must have discipline. Because you cannot enforce what you are not doing. A leader, then they have the demand for wisdom, the demand for courage, the demand for humility, the demand for decision making, the demand for friendship. Don't isolate yourself because you're a leader. The demand for executive ability, check decisions, the demand for intuition, and the demand for inspiration. A leader must inspire people. So those are the 10 demands of leadership. All right, let's round up leadership by looking at good performances for leaders. We're all leaders here. I'm happy that the notion I had was corrected. After the morning session, they now told me that, no, it's not everybody. This is just the leaders. I was told that you are up to almost 1,000, about 800 combined. But this is just the leaders. I said, okay, now I understand. Because I was saying that we should be more than this. But now that you are leaders, what are the things that are expected of you? Number 1, keep all appointments you make. If for any reason you can't make it, put a call through. It shows you're a responsible person. Number 2, make punctuality a personal policy. Be punctual to all activities and appointments, especially the ones that you originated. Number 3, be a man or woman of your words. Keep your words at all times. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Let your yea be yea, let your nay be nay. Next, don't keep people waiting. Attend to people as soon as you can. Don't promise what you cannot deliver. Because you see, a promise is a debt but not fulfilled. When you make a promise, you create hope. When you fulfill the promise, you win trust. Can I say that again? When you make a promise, you create hope. When you fulfill the promise, you win trust. And the best way to win trust is by fulfilling your promises. Next, do unto others exactly what you would like them to do unto you. Don't demand respect as a leader. Earn respect. Be neat and presentable at all times. Because people see you before they hear you. And you will never get a second opportunity to make a first impression. Never compromise your integrity no matter the pressure and temptation. Please reply all correspondences as a leader. WhatsApp, SMS, whatever, reply. Some people don't reply their messages. So how you will not even acknowledge. That's not leadership. Next, treat your subordinates with courtesy and your colleagues with regard. And of course, your superiors with respect. Never take a decision until you have all the facts. Don't criticize people unless it is constructive criticism. Be positive at all times. A leader must be positive. Don't be negative. Keep records of all official correspondences. Please, this is important. There are some things you must not delete, especially if it is official, because it might be what will save you when the chips are down. Are you getting it? So you must keep certain things. You must have your own documents. Please, don't be a careless leader. Everything concerning your units or your zones, have everything intact. Because the day of reckoning, all you need to do is just to. So accountability is key in leadership. Everything concerning this program must be accounted for. Even nobody is asking you, do it and keep it. Because one day, it will come up. Next, plan your day before it begins and we said that already, keep your promises. All right, weigh your words before you speak. Why? Once they are out of your mouth, they cannot be retrieved. Please remember that honesty is the best policy. Don't compromise it. Always treat people better than you met them. Don't divulge confidential information in your custody to third parties. You have the information because of your position. Don't divulge it. Keep our association secrets secret. Always be in the right frame of mind. Then never take a shot when you are angry, and never make a promise when you are excited. Cool down, calm down, and rationalize your decisions well. Herod, that was how he gave John the Baptist's head out. He wasn't happy about it, but the king can never reverse his word. So be careful the decisions you make, the promises you make. So will you put all these things to work? Are you sure? All right. So I want to just take one more topic and then I'll be through delegation. Can we take delegation? Can we take delegation? Because I think I was giving 1 hour, 30 minutes or so. But I think, okay, cut now. What's the time now, sir? Okay, so we're still in. No, you said 1 hour, 30 minutes now. I started at 7:30 now. Use your church mind now. No, there are other things that have to be done, which I understand. But let me just do delegation. Is that all right, sir? Is it okay by you too? All right, are we ready? Come closer a bit. Don't worry, you'll get camera allowance. Okay, tell me when you're ready. No, cut and then start. Cut. Can I go? All right, let's look at delegation now. It's the last topic. I know we have tried. First of all, what is delegation? Delegation refers to the process by which superiors assign tasks to subordinates alongside the corresponding authority to execute them. Delegation is not the same thing as just giving somebody something to do. Did you give him the authority? Many times we give people responsibility, don't give them authority. So it's not just about giving people tasks to do. You are giving them assignments, you're also giving them what they need to function. Now, having said that, this is one of the most important statements I'll make tonight. If the job process suffers whenever you are absent, you are not a good leader. You are not a good boss, with all due respect. If the job process suffers whenever you are absent, then something is wrong. Why? Because of this statement. Things shouldn't work well only when you are around. He said it. The president said we should go ahead. That is what it should be. That's what it should be. The organizer of this thing, everything concerning this workshop might not even have been him, but he had delegated. Brothers and sisters, things shouldn't work well only when you are around. Now, why should you, as a unit head, zonal head, as an individual superior, consider delegating tasks? Number one, it helps with the growth and development of your team. It increases your impact and your influence. They begin to know that, God believes in us. Are you getting that? It increases your influence. It makes you an attractive leader to work for. It boosts your reputation as a leader. And it frees you to work on bigger things. As long as you keep doing small things, you're never going to do bigger things. Are we together? Okay. So what are some obstacles to delegation? Why is it that some superiors don't want to delegate? Number one, fear. Fear. If I ask this guy to do this, if he doesn't do it, if he messes it up, I'm going to lose a lot. But brothers and sisters, give it a try. Number two, trust. They don't trust their team enough. Time. They feel it will take too long to explain. Let me just do this thing myself. You cannot grow. You cannot grow. Your zone will not grow. Your unit will not grow. Your business will not grow if you do not want to let go. There are people who have locked their offices, their shops, just because they will be here for 3 days. In as much as that might be understandable, but you need to learn to trust people. I know sometimes we get our fingers burnt, but you just have to. Then, lastly, skill. Management feel that their team members don't possess the right skills, which might be true. So what should you do? You train. You train. So what are the 4 obstacles to delegation? Number 1 is what? Yeah. Number 2? Next? Time, and then skills. And they are all surmountable. If it is fair, look for any way to surmount that and so on. All right, 5 things you must do in relation to delegation tasks. Number 1, you must understand capability of the people you are delegating to. Number 2, you must provide context, tell them exactly what you want done. You set goals and expectations, called management by objectives. You review progress. If you delegate without reviewing progress, that's abdication. I'm sure you are always on him. How far? Have we gotten this? Is this one in order? And so on and so forth. You cannot just give somebody something and you don't review progress. And then you share feedback. You share feedback. Ask questions. How far for that assignment? And so on and so forth. Now, it's not every task that should be delegated. What are those tasks that should be delegated? Number one, anything in your job which your subordinate can do better. Either because he has more direct knowledge of the details involved or he has more time. Are you aware that there are some things that will be able to do better than you? Let him do it. Let him do it. Anything which your subordinate can do at less expense, let him do it. Sometimes because of your suits, because of your time, because of your car, they are going to give you a higher price. Are you listening to me? Some years ago, we were trying to furnish our office there in Abuja. We were trying to put some things in place. Me and my colleague now, that's how we went with suit, three-piece suit, car. We now went to where they are selling carpet. They now gave us three-piece suit price. They gave us okay, this is this. And after my colleague, it's okay. I told him, well, we will come back. And I got to the office. We now sent one guy that is wearing short knicker and 2 different leg of slippers. They now gave him price for that one. He was the one that we sent to buy it. Sometimes the way you look, the way you talk, will attract more prizes. Because I told you earlier, man walks by sight. Are we together? All right. Let me take it from here. Next, anything that might continue. Anything that can make an unusually valuable contribution to your subordinates' training and development. So, brothers and sisters, delegation is not only about the work you don't want to do. That's where some of us miss it. Sometimes you delegate because you want to train, you want to teach. Are you getting it? Some of us here are pastors. Are you sure that your assistants are being trained informally? Informally. When you are traveling, you tell them to play message. You even carry the microphone along with you on your journey. No. Yes, that's how some people do it too. They never want anybody to do anything. What happens when there are issues and somebody has to stand in? When I discovered I was getting busier because of demands of my job, and I don't want God's work to suffer, I looked at some people. Because when I resumed in the last posting I was, there are some deacons. They said they are they're supposed to be assisting me. But I asked them. I was asking them, what do you do in church? Nothing, we're in charge of this. The former pastor will not let them do anything. He's the only one that God talks to. Are you getting that? I said, no. So I said, when you travel, they should play message. So if it goes for 1 month, they'll play message for 1 month. I said, no. Taking this, on Wednesday service, you will handle Wednesday service. Even when I'm in church, I will sit down and be listening. Are you getting it? Not because I don't know what to do. I'm training him. And I started with midweek service. If he made any mistake, I will correct him. Before we knew it, the guy had mastered that. Then I said, this Sunday, you'll pray. What of the crowd, sir? I said, what of me that faces the crowd? Then I was listening to him. As I'm talking to you now, nothing suffers in my absence. God's work will not suffer just because I'm not around. It's not only the work you don't want to do that you will delegate. Sometimes delegation is a way of training. That generator that you are putting on alone in the house, you have a 15, 16-year-old son, teach him. So that when you are not around, they will have lights. Are you getting what I'm saying? All right? And all of us must duplicate ourselves. You are the one that they assigned. He has taught this guy, now he's sitting down. Because long life is his portion. No, in the morning it's too throughout. I was just wondering. Now this guy is learning. Are you getting it? At the end, you will still do your editing, you will still do some corrections. Brothers and sisters, dedication is getting things done through people. Stop trying to play God. It's only God that can do everything. Work with people. Have a formidable team. Are we together? So delegation is not just the work you don't want to do. Look at it. Anything which might make an additional valuable contribution to yourself, the training and development. All right? What are the tasks you should not delegate? Please do not delegate tasks which are well beyond your subordinate skills. Don't delegate confidential security and policy matters which are restricted to you alone. So let's round up now. How to delegate? Number one, choose the right. Okay, let's cut and then let's take this, all right? Okay, ready? How to delegate? How to delegate? Number one, choose appropriate task. Number two, choose appropriate person, because you can have the right task but you don't have the right person. You have put a round peg in a square hole. Choose the right person based on your knowledge of the person's competence. Next, set clear objectives and plan. Then you implement. You monitor. This is very important. You monitor so that the guy doesn't mess things up. I hope you're monitoring what he's doing. All right, so that at the end is what you want he will give to you. You monitor and then you evaluate or review. Did you get me? All right. Before the seminar started, I called you. Did I not call you? Aside. I showed you the way you did in the morning. I said, well, there are some mistakes. The background is wrong. I will stand there. We agreed. It's not, I didn't catch him on our ways. Even where he will stand, I told him. Are you getting that? You give the person your objectives. I said, this thing is going beyond here. Then you monitor. And then, of course, you evaluate. So what is the process of delegation? Number one? Talk to me, number one. So the task comes before the person. Identify what you want done. Then identify who? The right person. All right? You have somebody in your office or in your unit or he's not customer friendly, he's impatient, he's hostile. Don't send that person to front desk. There might be somewhere else he can function. Choose the right person. Then the next thing, set clear objectives and make sure you plan together. Then you implement. That's execution. Then you monitor, because delegation without monitoring is abdication. And then lastly, you what? Evaluate and you review. Tips on delegation: choose the right person, understand the employee's strengths, weaknesses, and preferences. Explain why you are delegating. Provide the right instructions. Provide the resources and training. Delegate responsibility and authority. Now, this is important. Don't only give responsibility, you also have to give authority. When you told him to discuss with me, you gave him some level of authority. And then if it was going to go higher, then we have to get back. Never ask someone to do something without the corresponding authority. Then allow mistakes, if any, and then check, work, and provide feedback. We can skip this. All right, last slide now. 3 laws of delegation. Number 1 is the law of parity of responsibility and authority. What does that law state? Whenever you delegate, whenever you give somebody responsibility, you must also give him or her authority to carry out the task. Not more, but at least. You cannot just be leaving the office. When you, as the zonal leaders here, when you are leaving, who did you put in charge? Are you getting it? You cannot just say, I'm coming home, I'm going for a workshop, for a seminar, for a conference. Who did you put in charge? The one you put in charge must have been given some level of authority. So this law says that whenever you delegate responsibility, you must also delegate what? Authority. Then the law of unity of command. This law states that you must delegate in such a way that only one person is in charge of a particular thing. I cannot say 3 of you are in charge of this laptop. 3 of you should look after it for me. That will lead to confusion. Because somebody might want it closed, another person might want it open. You are leaving your office, you said 2 of you are in charge. So somebody comes in, says come, the other one says go. Who will you be? Unity of command. Unity of command. It states that never delegate in such a way that more than one person is in charge of a particular thing. Are we together? You can structure it. For the venue and the feeding, this is the person. For contacting the resource person, this is. But make sure, and then lastly, the law of absoluteness of accountability. This law says that you can actually delegate a delegated task, but you cannot delegate accountability for the execution. I want this pen to go to the back, so I give it to you, sir. If you like, give it to Oga. You give it. All I want is for you to get to the back. If it's not at the back, who should I hold? The person I spoke to. It will be wrong for you to not say, no, it's not me. It's not me, oh, I gave it to Fred. Go and ask Fred. I cannot go and ask Fred because it's you I gave it to. What is he trying to do? He's trying to delegate accountability. That was the mistake Adam made. Have you asked yourself why it was only Adam that God asked questions? Because it was Adam that God gave the work, gave the law. And Adam did not understand. He was saying, it's the woman. The woman too said, it's the serpent. No, it doesn't work like that. You can delegate a delegated task, but you cannot delegate accountability for the execution of that task. Is it clear? Is it clear? So that's a good place for us to stop. All right? So I'm sure we've learned something. All right? So in these 2 sessions, we've learned everything about leadership. Am I correct? Please go back and go through have you sent it to the platform already? Go through everything slide by slide, and also delegation. There's more, which you will see that there's goal setting, there's time management in the lecture slides, there's team building, there's conflict resolution, everything you need to take your different zones and units to the next level. The president has told me we'll organize other things. I'll be available. We can even do some things online because always traveling is not very, very